We are going to do a very quick and snappy climax to the summit. And as the group of people come up, oh, you're all here, good. So, if you haven't yet had a chance to make a comment, to add a contribution, in just a few minutes I'm going to give priority to people who haven't yet had a say. So if you've been a chatty Cathy over the last couple of days, it's time to keep your lips zipped and make space and room for people who haven't yet had a chance. So I will prioritize comments from the floor from anyone who we haven't yet heard from. And I would, of course, love us to also prioritize people who are using PrEP in that. So each of our 5 people up here, most of the people who are sitting with us here have been centrally involved in the organization of the summit for the last, it's been almost a year, it feels like. So let's start off, because we are going to do a bunch of thank yous as we go through. Can we have a big round of applause for everyone who's been centrally involved in getting the last few days together? All of these people. The endless numbers of phone calls that we've been doing, and selection committees and scholarships and all these kind of things, they all seem like a long, long time away. And I know we're not going to forget to thank this person, but let's do it now. Gus is lurking in the background with a very fetching little cap on. But Gus, thank you so much. Gus, thank you for your leadership. I know over the last couple of weeks it's been added stresses, particularly with Matthew being away, but you've really held your shit together. There have been no tantrums, thankfully, at least not from you. And we really, really do appreciate your leadership and all of this. Thank you so much. We'll get you back up on in just a couple of minutes. So, people up here, and I'm going to start with you, Magdalena. And then we'll just move along. Here's your pre-warning. I've asked each of these people to just summarize in no more than 45 seconds kind of one key learning, one key take-home, or one kind of action that they've got from being part of the summit. And thank you for also helping to host us here.
45 minutes, one sentence. It's too hard to me. For me, it's PrEP after all of this preparation work, discussion, and everything around it. That PrEP, it's not only one pill, it's everything around it, and to work, different people, different things should be included, and then it is the good message to spread to the world.
Amazing, you kept on time, thank you. Phil, your turn.
I think for me, I would like to use my privilege to help people that are more marginalized than I am. So I was inspired by your presentation, Max, and I'd like to do more for trans people and trans men especially.
Phil, do you also want to give a quick shout out? You've got some wares still to effectively disseminate.
We still have loads of packs left, so if I haven't given you syphilis already, we still have it up front.
They're going hot. Syphilis is going very hot down in the front. Rosalind, get your hands off that syphilis behind. And your concluding points, please.
My concluding point. Can't catch syphilis from sitting.
No, but there is a badge in the pack, so be very careful what you sit on.
I'm getting all sorts of good advice up here. I have been inspired by how people are finding solutions to normalizing PrEP. I think this is our big challenge now, that PrEP should stop being this different thing over here that, now we're going to talk about PrEP. We need to normalize PrEP, and people are finding ways to do that. I don't mind if an infection is prevented through PrEP, through treatment, through a condom, but we need to get on and prevent these infections, and that means scaling up and scaling up fast. And thank you for all the work you're doing to finding ways to do that.
Thank you, Rosalind.
Thanks, Rosalind.
Cindra, over to you.
So in 45 seconds, I'm going to say more than one thing that I learned these last few days. So I learned that there's PrEP now in Spain, and there's PrEP in Ireland, and there's PrEP in Croatia, I think. And I learned that there's not PrEP in Poland. And when I say PrEP, I mean national PrEP programs. I learned that there are MSM unicorns that like trans men. I learned that that I like this idea that PrEP can be an antidepressant because it brings you less anxiety and freedom. I like that a lot. I also learned that there's a serious PrEP gap in Europe of 500,000 people, and that the situation in Russia is particularly dire. And I met a lot of new people to work with, which was really inspiring.
Yeah, I think my take home is that I see a room full of people who are willing to learn, willing to learn about different topics, and that we have experts in the room that are willing to share their knowledge. And with the little bags that we take home full of knowledge that we gained over this weekend, I think it's our responsibility to spread that knowledge into our communities, into the countries where we come from. And I think it's a great opportunity to actually have a room full of people from different contexts, different backgrounds, different professions and everything. And this will also be the key to make what in our perfect PrEP world, the access to healthcare would look like. And yeah.
Great, thank you, Max. So we have about 10 or 12 minutes left. If anyone wants to make a closing statement, and this is a closing statement, something that maybe is an affirmation about what you've learned from the summit, something you're taking home, something that's an action, please go to one of the mics. And again, just as these people have just had about 45 seconds, please keep any comments really, really succinct. But I am just going to look at the back of Facebook Live. Do we have anyone there? Nothing? Okay, no one from Facebook Live. So a chance to jump up. Richard, are you going to the mic? Okay. Please, everyone's going to be shy at this point, aren't they? And I'm going to stand here trying to fill time.
Will, do you have a question?
I do not have a question. Harriet, thank you. It's all right, you don't have to run.
It's, like I've said before, it's my second summit, and I have also been to the US summit in 2016. And when I come to look what we have left behind, I really feel a great confidence out of this summit. We now know a lot about the vocabulary. We can talk to each other. In the beginning, we were not aware of the vocabulary we need. We were not aware of how to address the key issues, and now we already have come up with solutions. Like Cindra has put it, there are countries that have national PrEP programs. I don't know if I could dreamt of this. So if I continue to write this further in the future, I think we'll have a great third summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Harriet. That's really inspiring. Gennady, over to you.
First of all, I want to thank all people who made this summit possible, and Gus especially. And I want to share some thought I'll take with me after this summit, that there are two Europes in our Europe, the Europe with PrEP and the Europe without PrEP. And the steps overcame already by Western countries. Eastern Europe and Central Asia just started to go through. And it is a very fragile situation when we can be splitted from each other, but our goal is to stay together and try to share the experience France and United Kingdom have got in their fight for health, happiness of quite big number of marginalized people. So to share it with another part of Europe. So how to do it, maybe you also can think about this issue. How not to close your home from your neighbors.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jarek. It's my first conference like this, so forgive me if I stating the obvious, but one thing which really inspired me throughout presentations from Europe is PrEP is bringing back the discussion on comprehensive sexual health services. It can bring people back to testing, it can bring back the importance of, one stop for everything. Don't spread the, STIs, HIV, Hep C around different departments. There is a chance of stirring up, like in Spain, after 10 years, the committee met. In Poland, PrEP clinics are STI checkpoints at the same time. So I'm really inspired. And also, I came here being a little bit skeptical about PrEP. Now I believe in it. So thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, last couple of comments. So if you do want to make a comment, go to the mic now, and otherwise we'll be closing. Okay, thank you.
Я хочу поблагодарить от лица украинских секс-работников за возможность принять участие в этом саммите. За этот год я получила очень много хорошей информации, а здесь я получила настолько огромное количество информации, и я очень благодарна за это. Мои люди... Хорошо.
I want to thank all of you for this amazing event, and I've got enormously huge amount of information which will be useful for sex workers indeed.
И у нас на Украине появилась надежда, что секс-работники получат ПрЕП, и я Гасу очень благодарна за это, и всем вам благодарна, потому что у меня появились новые друзья, а самое главное, что вот все наши совместные усилия в Европе делают очень большой прорыв. Мы ездим в Европу, Европа ездит в Украину, и это общая проблема. И кроме того, мои секс-работники ждут меня и ждут ту информацию, которую я здесь услышала. Спасибо.
You are those people who made significant input into the getting PrEP to sex workers in Ukraine. So thank you for this help, especially thank to Gus. And I'll take to Ukraine this information and hope with me.
Thank you so much. So the last two, so no more after you two, I'm afraid, just to keep us on time. Thank you.
Well, I would like just to say that we have to pay attention to not consider our work and when PrEP is available. PrEP should not be available. PrEP should be affordable. That's a big difference. Because if we bring PrEP only to people that can afford it, with the cost of the drug and the healthcare that we all say that should come with it, the risk is that we erase the demand from the privileged people and we left the others behind. And we, among all others, should know that no one should be left behind. Thanks.
Thank you. Jide, final closing comment. Thank you.
Thank you. I first of all also want to say thank you to the organizers, Gus, and everyone that has been part of this. It is my first PrEP in Europe, any kind of PrEP conference. What I just want to highlight is I think we talked a lot about minority groups in most of the presentations, but also I feel that another group of people are missing here. Where are the religious leaders? We should be dragging them, kicking and screaming to these conferences so that they begin to learn, the language or the appropriate language when it comes to PrEP. I mean, when I saw that T-shirt about Truvada, it really breaks my heart. You know, when people are trying to prevent themselves from getting HIV, they are nowhere near that kind of language. And I think that religious leaders, in whatever ramification, we should be inviting them, or at least get their attention, so that they can come here and learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Jide. So I know Cindra mentioned this very briefly at the opening on Thursday, but I'm also really happy to let people know that from next week, AVAC and PrEPster are about to embark on a brand new piece of work. If you were at the Amsterdam PrEP Summit, you would have heard me talk about the importance of building on good participatory practice of people with HIV and translating those GPP principles into good participation of people who are using PrEP. I used a term, good EPUP, good involvement of people using PrEP. My colleagues have asked me to stop using that phrase, but I still love it. So AVAC and PrEPster from next week will embark on a brand new piece of work, or an international global piece of work that builds principles around good involvement of people using PrEP, or people who may use PrEP, in policy, practice, and research. We'll be sending information out about that. But particularly if you are a PrEP user, we would really appreciate your participation in that piece of work. There'll be lots of opportunities to do that. So Gus is about to come and join us. And just as he's getting on the stage, a couple more thank yous. The translators at the back, thank you so much. Bless you for all of your skills. I know we've been using some difficult words, and some of us have been speaking way too fast for you to be able to translate, but thank you very much for doing that. The IT folks at the back, thank you for all of your help. Nicholas, you've been here for longer than any of us. I think Nicholas has been doing an amazing job making sure that all of the videos and stuff work. Nicholas, thank you. And for all of your little helpers, Mark's doing it today. A bunch of us have been doing it. I know that's been a great job. Thank you at the back. So final shout out, thank you, all of you for coming along. If you've come on a scholarship, thank you. If you've paid your own way, if your organization has paid you, if you've been someone who's just sat quietly and engaged, if you're someone who has said lots and lots of things and helped people along the way, it's all important. The one thing I'm taking away from this as someone who's been working in HIV prevention, but in PrEP advocacy for the last 10 or so years, I'm really, really excited and delighted by the new people coming in, the new generation. There's loads of new faces, and that's really, really exciting, because there's a bunch of us who don't want to be doing this for much longer, isn't there, Gus? Like both of us? Yeah. Greg Owen's already buggered off home. So the new generation of people, it's so good to see you here. It's so good to learn from you. It's so good to hear about all of the excitement that you bring to this. Thank you for offering that to me. That's my learning moment. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to shut up and give a mic to Gus.
So I wouldn't be Gus without a housekeeping announcement, which is just to remind the steering committee and those involved in supporting the conference, which means our local guys, that we have 20 seats booked in the town central restaurant. Meet in the lobby what's the time now? 7 o'clock? Yeah, 7 o'clock. Meet in the lobby, 7 o'clock. I think we're booked at 7:30. That's if you want to come, you don't have to. It won't be businessy, I can assure you of that. Okay, so I'm very tired. And this is, I think this is the hardest I've ever worked in my life in terms of getting this conference together. So I'm slightly overwhelmed. And I am just tremendously pleased at the way it's gone and the way that the group of people in this room has informed each other and sparked ideas off each other. I don't just do this because of PrEP and because of HIV. What I do comes from a sort of deeper level, which I went into on the first night, of commitment to things like the LGBT community. I was involved in gay lib before HIV ever even came along. And also, more recently, I've as a result of Brexit, I've rediscovered a kind of faith in international action and global dialogue, which I didn't even realize was sort of there, or I knew it was kind of there, but I didn't realize how passionate I was about it, and how rewarding it's been to get people, even if some of you have been sitting there not quite being able to understand everything that's been said, but people like Aziza and Sivar from Tajikistan, and Zoya, who I can see over there, and Donio from Uzbekistan, who, God, did we have to spend some time getting him over there, thank you. And I've been checking out with some of these people to make sure that they're, it's all going in there and they're going to be able to do something with the knowledge that they gain when they get back. Gaukar from Kazakhstan. So it's really important to me to kind of be the virus that spreads the knowledge through the body politics of repressive countries, not excluding my own. So thank you very, very much. Thank you to everybody. Thank you incredibly to Will as well, who has on a couple of occasions supported me during this process when I've had a bit of a wobble. But everybody on the steering committee, and I think the two people who I can name who are the reason we had it in Warsaw, and that is Bartek and Magdalena, without whose sheer competence and professionalism we would never be here. And when I first came to Warsaw to visit the hotel in about June or something, we'd already been planning the conference since April, I knew we were going to be in safe hands. So thank you very, very much. And now I may wish you pleasant journeys back to wherever you live. Take the message back with us, with you. We will try and take your messages with us and make something out of them. Okay, and we will stay in touch. Thank you.
And that is it from us here in Warsaw. We've just had the last concluding remarks and also messages from some of the panelists which presented and also members of the steering committee of the PrEP in Europe Summit. We sincerely hope that you found this PrEP in Europe Summit as interesting as we have found it at this end, and that you take this information and knowledge which we have shared at this conference in order to create more advocacy, more promotion, and hopefully PrEP will also become available in your own countries. We sincerely hope to see you next year. Share the videos, like our pages, and hopefully we'll see you again next year.
There will be, so you will be able to see, so you will be able to see all those live streams instantly in the PrEP in Europe Facebook group. And then later in a week or so, we will also upload edited versions to YouTube so that they're really publicly available, and we'll chop them up so that each presentation is one video so that you can link to it. I hope we will also manage to add the Russian translations to YouTube. We couldn't do that on Facebook because Facebook just doesn't allow for like dual audio channel stuff. Yeah, and it was a great pleasure doing this. Thank you for being a co-host. Yes, we are on air, Cindra.
You're on air?
Yeah, you want to say something? That is Cindra Feuer, you can't see her. You need to come out. Yeah, come out. But quickly.
I can say it on air.
Yeah, well, or just say something that you can say on air. No, well.
Well, in any case, now that you've come all the way here, anyway.
No, we're still on air. We just need to say goodbye to Facebook, and then and Cindra Feuer from AVAC will tell us something that she can't say on air.
Exactly.
Talk to you in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Thank you very much, guys. See you soon somewhere.
Hopefully we'll see you again this next year, right? And do let us know if there's anything which PrEP in Europe can help you with within your organization. And we certainly hope that we can build more networks and help in the introduction and implementation of PrEP.
Thank you.
That's
Bye.
it. Thank you.